are ready to go. Welcome, everyone. My name is Abel Prieto, coming to you live from Miami, Florida, with our first English partner training webinar of 2025. And today I want to talk to you about how to have an unstoppable business in 2025. Last week I gave you, well, not last week because of the holidays, we didn't do training, but the week before that I gave you 10 tips on how to have an unstoppable 2025. Today, I'm going to give you 10 more. But before I do that, I just want to give you a couple of quick announcements and just let you know how excited we are with everything that's happening with InCruises. Our company has built, not is building, but has already built incredible momentum. And I want to make sure that you guys take advantage of it. I want to give you some tips today as to things that we can do, in terms of actions and mindsets. And really, that's what it's all about. Most of my trainings are on two things: on mindset, the mindset of a winner, the mindset of a leader, the mindset of an entrepreneur, the mindsets that it takes for you to take your life to the next level, so that 2025 isn't just another year for you, but ends up being a great year for you and your family, because you deserve it. And then the actions that you have to take to make those, to make that mindset into a reality, because you can have a great mindset, but at the end of the day, if you don't do what it takes on a daily basis, then it's not going to take you anywhere. So it's a combination of the two. But first of all, I just want to let you know, man, we are on fire. The team is on fire. They just announced a brand new Global Leadership Summit contest. As you know, it's a contest that we do every 6 months. So check your emails. I haven't announced the location yet, but I hear it's going to be something really, really special. We just ended our prior contest. For those of us, I know some of us here won that contest. Congratulations. We're on our way to Madrid for an all expenses paid trip to Madrid. I mean, isn't that awesome? I remember the last job that I used to have before I became an entrepreneur. I was 21 years old. They would give me a bonus every year. It was a turkey for Thanksgiving. That was my bonus for working and for dedicating my life to that company. I was a human resources assistant. They, once a year, they give me a turkey. They say, Abel, enjoy your turkey. I'm like, man, do I look like a turkey? And they're like, yeah, you kind of do. So that was, and here we work with a company where every 6 months, not only do you get bonuses on a monthly and weekly basis, but every 6 months you get to go to some exotic location. We just got back from Montenegro. I had never been to Montenegro. And now they're announced that we're on our way to Madrid now for the contest that just ended. But today, this month is the first month of the new contest. So get the details, know exactly what you have to win, do to win that contest, and make sure that you're with us wherever that exotic location is. We've got an incredible incentive for the month of January that's been emailed to you guys also, so make sure you're clear on that. And then I want to announce that on January 25th, we're going to be doing an event in Miami. So if any of you are in the Miami area, in the Florida area, Orlando, Tampa, man, come join us. That's going to be January 25th in Miami. More details to come. We're gonna have the Eventbrite link created before the end of the day, so that you can purchase tickets. Tickets will be very inexpensive. Room is limited, so I want to encourage you to get your people to get their tickets as soon as possible. I want to have Erwin Sagarra, who's about to become a senior marketing director with us, coming in from Spain. We're gonna have Oscar Rubio in the house with us. He's a brand new regional director from Barcelona, and myself. So make sure that you guys make it out to our first event of January. It's going to be here in Miami, January 25th. More details to come. I'll get you the exact schedule so that you guys can participate. We'd love to see you there. And then before I give you, the tips of the day, I just want to tell you, man, one thing is for me to tell you the company has momentum, but, as we say in English, the proof is in the pudding. So there's proof. In 2024, InCruises won a bunch of awards. We got the Gold Magellan Award for Insider's Advantage. We've got the Silver Magellan Award for our membership free promotion. We were recognized as MSC's top producer in Central Asia and MSC's top producer in their emerging markets. We earned Costa Cruise Lines what they call over the top award. So, as an agency, as a travel company that has started to break records with Costa and doing things that they've never seen, they gave us an award. We climbed to number 46 out of the DSN's global 100 list of top companies. And we were one of 22 companies to grow in annual revenues for 4 consecutive years. So I want you to know that InCruises is a company that you can be proud of. It's a company that you can be proud to represent. But not only that, let's talk about some of our highlights coming out of 2024. And why is this important? It's important because you have to you have to dress yourself in powerful, anti-negative resistant, hardware. And when you talk to people, and you might talk to people sometimes that say, "Oh, I don't know, does that really work? Is it really going to work for me? Does it work for you?" And when you see what the company has done, you can feel good about your opportunity, and it helps you repel some of that negative stuff that you're going to get out of there. So some of the numbers that you need to, prepare yourself with, over 260,000 new members registered with InCruises in 2024. 260,000 new members in 2024, totaling 320,000 active paying members that are now paying their starter plan, their classic plan, or their premium plan all around the world in over 200 countries. Over 108,000 passengers cruised with InCruises in 2024. So we're not just selling a membership that people pay and never use. No. People are using their membership. We've got a track record. What I love about InCruises, and I tell people all the time, is that we are a ground floor opportunity, right? Because, you always hear about that. You want to be at the right place at the right time. You want to be there, at the ground floor part of the business, opportunity. Well, we are a ground floor opportunity that happens to have a 9-year track record. And when you combine those two elements, what does that create? That creates a great opportunity for you, for me, and for the people that you want to bring on board in your company. So 108,000 passengers cruised with InCruises last year, but we've only scratched the surface. We haven't even scratched the scratch of the surface because it's such a global opportunity. How many more people want to cruise around the world? You think 108,000 is enough? No way. 34 million people cruised last year industry-wide, so we're just getting started. Our club members, are we saving them money? Yep. Saved over $33 million when you compare our prices to retail prices out in the marketplace. So not only are we selling a product, but we're selling a product that is saving people money. We had a record-breaking 1.2 million US dollars, all right, in bookings that were achieved in a single day. We had a record-breaking day where in one day we did 1.2 million in cruise bookings in just one day. Nearly 700 members celebrated our 8th anniversary on our Elevate cruise. We had 700 InCruises members on one cruise, the most amount of people we've ever had on our cruise, and so much more. We launched Membership 3.0. We launched our starter plan, our premium plan, with 6,000 people upgrading to their premium membership. Have you upgraded to premium? With 2,000 people starting with the starter membership. These are two products that we didn't even have before. So what I'm telling you is that, man, your company is on a roll. And I want to make sure that I give you the tips, the knowledge, the wisdom that I've been able to learn over the last 9 years being a part of InCruises and over the last 20 years as an entrepreneur, so that you can have a company that's on the move, that's building momentum. How about our partner team? What's our partner team done? Over 135,000 membership-free payments were awarded, saving our partners $13.5 million in membership payments. Do you understand what that represents 27 million in potential travel value. This is free money, travel money, that we gave 135,000 payments to our, that's, if you got one payment over 12 months, and then you've got thousands of people getting those free 200 points on a monthly basis, that's a lot of money. Total commissions paid since founding Incruises surpassed $400 million in total commissions. We've got so many things going on. We made adjustments and improvements to our compensation program with our recurring payments, with our residual income. We've got the new Social Hub newsletter. We've got so much going on. And I just want to make sure, we just promoted 2 brand new premier ambassador boards. So your company is on the move, and I want to make sure that your business is on the move. You see, I'm going to do everything I can to give you the tools, the knowledge, and the wisdom. But at the end of the day, it's going to take you getting to work. So what are the things that you got to do right now, starting today, so that you can move your business in the right direction, so that you can start? You see, I love it. I love that Incruises is breaking records, but I want you to break records. I love that Incruises is making money, but I want to make sure that you're making money. I love that Incruises is getting recognized, but I want to make sure that you're getting recognized. See, I love that Incruises has momentum, but I want to make sure that you have momentum. So let's talk about what it's going to take for you to build momentum in 2025. You got to understand that building momentum is not something that happens overnight, but it's not something that needs to take forever. Building momentum happens with time, but it doesn't have to take forever. I've given you the numbers. The company's on the go. Let's make sure that your business is on the go. Are you with me? So I want to talk to you about the difference between normal and common. Abel, normal and common, what are you talking about? That's the same thing. Something's normal, something's common. No, see, it's common for people to struggle financially, but it's not normal. That's not the way it should be. It's common for people not to travel as much as they'd love to travel. A lot of people, most of the world, doesn't travel as much as they want to travel. It's common, but it's not normal. That's not the way it should be. It's common for people to not save the amount of money they want to save, or invest for their future, or their kids' college education, or their retirement, that's common. But it doesn't mean that it's got to be normal. It shouldn't be normal. You see, years ago, I made a decision that I didn't want to be normal. I kind of wanted to be abnormal. If people aren't laughing at you, then you're not doing anything. If you're not being criticized, then you're not doing anything. So I want to tell you what it takes. And just the other day, I was watching this documentary on the Boston Celtics, right? So the Boston Celtics NBA basketball team, they hadn't won a championship in many, many years. And they had a team that had been doing good for a couple of years, but they couldn't win the championship. They couldn't be the world champions. And they were talking to the coach of the Celtics. It's a young guy. This guy's a great coach. I love basketball. I'm not a Boston Celtics fan. I'm a Miami Heat fan, right? Because I'm from Miami. But, he said something that was really great, because the leader of their team was a young guy, Jason Tatum, and he was getting criticized because they hadn't won the championship. Yeah, he was great. He was an all-star player. They were winning a lot of games, but they couldn't get it over the top. They couldn't become champions. Today, I want to talk to you about becoming a champion, about not being normal. And they were talking to the coach about Jason Tatum, and they said, Jason, he has to deal with criticism. And the coach stopped the interview, the guy doing the interview, asking the question. He says, no, it's not that he has to deal with criticism. That's not what it is. He gets to deal with criticism. See, he said, Jason Tatum is a superstar. Don't say he has to deal with criticism. No, he gets to. He has the privilege of dealing with criticism. See, when you're doing something big in life, when you're trying to win it all, when you're trying to not be normal, when you're trying to, become a champion, when you're trying to change your life, when you're trying to, quit your job, when you're trying to be a successful entrepreneur, when you're trying to build a successful in-cruises business, people are going to criticize you. But don't look at it as, oh, I got to deal with criticism. No, you get to deal with criticism. Because if people don't criticize you, guess what? That means you ain't doing anything. You know how many people have made fun of me? You know how many people criticized me? You know how many people told me I was crazy when I left my financial services career, over 10 years ago when Frank and I left that company, and then, we ended up launching in-cruises. I was criticized. They said, Abel, you're crazy. You're doing well. What are you doing? You're good at financial services. You're comfortable. You're making money. You're all right. See, people criticize me and said, Abel, you're not going to make it. Travel is crazy. And then the pandemic hit. And I got more criticism. Oh, man, you picked the wrong business, Abel. You're in the wrong business. Cruise ships aren't cruising. The travel business, COVID, Corona. People are, the world is a disaster. People criticize me. See, it's not that I had to deal with criticism. I got to deal with criticism. I had the privilege of dealing with criticism. And that starts with the mindset. That's the kind of mindset that you and I need to have going into 2025. You see, people will criticize you. People will tell you, you can't do it. People will tell you, it's too good to be true. People will tell you, it's one of those things. People will tell you, you'll never make money, you'll never make it. So I want you to change the mindset and say, oh no, I'm gonna have to deal with criticism. No, you're gonna get to deal with criticism. See, I love when people tell me I can't do something. I love when people tell me, it's impossible. I love when people tell me, you'll never make it, Abel, because that just gives me the power I need to move forward. So how do you build that mindset? What are some of the mindsets and actions that you and I have to take to make sure that you have an incredible 2025? Well, a couple weeks ago, I gave you my first 10. Today, I'm going to give you my next 10. Number one, you must have zero emotional attachment to rejection and to the negative things that will happen to you this year. Let me give you a bit of bad news. You will get rejected in 2025. Bad things will happen to you, but you must have zero emotional attachment to rejection and to the negative things that'll happen to you in your business in 2025. You see, the times that I've had business not do what I wanted it to do was when I became emotionally attached to someone saying no to me, to someone rejecting me, to someone not showing up to an appointment, to someone asking stupid questions just to ask stupid questions, to someone telling me, I don't believe in that. It sounds too good to be true. You got to have zero emotion. You have to emotionally become unattached to rejection. See, a lot of people, if I was to ask you right now, how many people would you talk to if you knew everyone was going to say yes? Oh my God, you'd be like, I talk to everyone 24 hours a day. I mean, I'd become a billionaire in a month. Well, that means that you have an emotional attachment to rejection. See, because of the fact that you know that some people are going to say no to you, then guess what? That holds you back from talking to them. Now, you might be right. They might say no, but you might be right. You might be wrong. They might say yes. So you need to emotionally unattach yourself from rejection and anything bad that happens to you. How do you do that? You become emotionally attached to your goals and to your dreams. See, I am emotionally attached to my goals and my dreams, to my vision. I always have my eye on the goal. So when little obstacles come along the way, I had a girl ask me once a couple years ago, she's now a national director with us. We were at a company trip, and she said, Abel, what was the hardest part of you building in-cruises? And I couldn't answer the question. I couldn't answer it. I said, what's the hardest part? I don't know. You see, I was so focused on my goals. I was so emotionally attached to my dreams, my goals, the life I wanted to live, the life I wanted to give my family, that I never even saw the obstacles. Remember this, obstacles are what you see when you take your eye off the goal. Number 2, let me ask you a question. What are you good at? What are you good at? We're all good at something. Some of us are good at meeting people. Some of us are good at building relationships. Some of us are friendly. Some of us are great presenters. Some of us are great at understanding the product and knowing everything about the product. Some of us, what are you good at? Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. What are your strengths? I want you to write them down. I want you to write down your wins. What are your wins? What have you done that's good in life? A lot of times we beat ourselves up, we always remember our losses, but I want you to remember your wins. What are you good at? Then focus on developing those strengths. And then if you've got a weakness, something you got to get good at, something that is going to help you build your business, then strengthen your weakness. I heard someone say years ago, he's like, oh, focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Well, yeah, that's true, but hold on a second. If you got a weakness that's preventing you from achieving your goals and dreams, man, you better build that weakness. If you're a basketball player and you're bad at shooting the ball, and you're like, oh, I'm bad at shooting the ball, that's a weakness, I'm not going to get good at that, man, you better. So focus on your strengths. Give most of your energy to that. And I want you to think, what are my strengths? Focus on that. Give it energy, give it power. And then if you have a weakness, strengthen your weakness. See, you can do it. You've got 2025 to do it. Number 3, have this type of attitude. Never satisfied, but always grateful. Have a never satisfied, always grateful type of attitude. You see, James Allen, he wrote a book called As a Man Thinketh. It's an old book written in the early 1900s. I have my top 5 books. That's number 1. Number 2 is Og Mandino, the greatest salesman in the world. Number 3 is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Number 4 is Think and Grow Rich. Number 5 is Pushing a People. But my number 1 book, and when I read this, it really hit me. James Allen, in his book, As a Man Thinketh, he wrote, perfection lies in the space where 2 extremes meet. So that's what I'm talking to you about. Always grateful, never satisfied. See, you don't always just want to be always grateful, because then you're like, okay, I don't want anything more. I'm grateful for what I have. You don't want to be on this extreme where you're never satisfied, because then you're never grateful for what you have. And that's the wrong mental attitude. See, you want to be in the space where 2 extremes meet. Always be grateful for what you have. Yes, I'm always grateful for what I have. If right now I would never grow my business anymore, if something came into my life that stopped me from growing, from making more money, from having more properties, from travel, I would still be grateful for what I have. I'm always grateful. At the same time, I'm never satisfied, because I'm grateful for the opportunity to go get more. I'm grateful for the opportunity that God has given me to go get more. You see, I'm grateful because I understand that gratitude is like a bridge that gets me to happiness. See, I want to tell you something that I've done my whole life, and I learned this in a book that I read many, many years ago. Whenever you're feeling down, whenever you're feeling the bad feelings, whether it's fear or jealousy or envy, you guys know what those bad feelings are, or when you're feeling scared or when you're feeling anxious. If you want to go from bad feelings to feeling good, the easiest way, the bridge that gets you from feeling bad. Do you ever feel bad? Do you ever wake up and feel bad? I wake up some days and I don't feel that great. I don't feel motivated. I don't feel inspired. We're human beings. No one's perfect. Well, if you ever want to, build a bridge that gets you from feeling bad, not feeling great, feeling fear, feeling anxiety, feeling scared, feeling unhappy. The bridge that gets you over here to good feelings is the bridge of gratitude. Be grateful. What are you grateful for? And then I start thinking and I start saying those words out loud. And all of a sudden I go from feeling bad to feeling great. So remember, always grateful, but never satisfied. That's what? 1, 2, 3. That's number 3. Number 4, remember this. Our words inspire people, but our actions get them to move. See, our words inspire people. Right now, I'm here and I'm on a webinar and I'm making an attempt to inspire you. I'm telling you what the company's doing. I'm telling you I want you to win. Our words inspire people. Yes, watch your words. Always say good things to people, because that inspires people. Words are important. Always tell people, I'm proud of you. I believe in you. Always, words are important. Our words inspire people. But if you want to get your team to move, then you move them through your actions. Action is everything. Action is everything. So if you want your team to produce, go produce. If you want your team to go get Y, you go get Y. If you want your team to give more presentations, you got to give more presentations. If you want your team to get promoted, you got to go get promoted. If you want your team to become better closers, you got to become a better closer. If you want your team to make money, you go make money. Our words inspire people, but our actions get them to move. And as I see that, I'm seeing Caterina, who's a brand new national director with us, and I think of her upline, Eva Dodoncho. They're in Spain, and their team is on fire, man. But one thing I've learned from Caterina, that I've learned from Eva, that I've learned from Julia, and that team of powerful women from Ukraine and Russia and Belarus and Spain, and now they're growing in Germany and in different parts of the world. One of the things is that, man, these ladies, they lead by example. They lead by example. If you want to lead your team, the best way to do that is by leading through your example. Number 5, stop worrying in 2025. Stop worrying and start doing. See, worrying is like suffering twice. See, when you worry, it's like praying for what you don't want. Could you imagine you believe in God, right? You sit there and you start praying to God for the things you don't want in life. That's what worrying is. See, I make it a time. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I worry a little, but it's very little and it's not very often. I'm a human being. I tend not to worry. You want to know one of the keys to my success? I try not to worry a lot. Stop worrying. So many people, they just worry too much. You worry yourself away from success. Worrying is like suffering twice. So when you worry, not only, let's say something bad is going to happen to you in 20. Let's say something bad's going to happen, okay? Let's say something bad's going to happen. I already told you at the beginning, bad things are going to happen. It's not like 2025 is going to be a magical year where everything goes perfect for you. You're not that oblivious to reality, right? You're not like delusional. Let's say something bad is going to happen. Well, when you worry, you suffer twice. You suffer when you worry, and it hasn't even happened yet. And then you suffer when it happens. If you had to pick between suffering once or twice, which one would you rather have? Would you like to suffer once or twice? Abel, I'd like to suffer 0. That's not an option. If you had to pick between suffering 1 time or suffering 2 times, which one would you pick? I'll take one all day. See, worrying is like suffering twice. Worrying is like praying for the things you don't want. So stop worrying so much and start doing. Number 6, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Oh, that's a powerful one. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I ask you to change the way you look at people. Change the way you look at yourself, and you will change. Treat a man or a woman as they are, and they will remain as they are. But when you treat a man or a woman as what they can be, they will become that. Change the way you look at yourself. Change the way you look at negative events. Change the way you look at positive events. Change the way you look at your clients. Change the way you look at your business. Change the way you look at your team, because when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Number 7, the Kazakhs, the people from Kazakhstan, I learned this from them years ago. They've got a saying in Kazakhstan. I love this saying. Check this out. They say this: don't let your life become like a public bathroom. At first, it smells, but then you get used to it. See, when you go in a public bathroom, I don't want to get too gross and disgusting here, but have you guys ever been to a really bad public bathroom? Oh man, when you go in there, you're like, oh my God, this is horrible. But guess what? If you stay in there long enough, you get used to it. Don't let that happen to your life. Don't think that being broke is okay. Don't think that not having or making a lot of money is okay. Don't think that being just not successful is all right. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it. Don't let your life become like a public bathroom. It smells at first, but then you get used to it. Number 8, be a human GPS, global positioning system. GPS, keep recalculating. See, imagine if you got in your car and you put your GPS and you're headed somewhere and you make a wrong turn. What does the GPS tell you to do? It tells you how to get back on track. It recalculates, right? You see it kind of go like this on your phone, boom, and then it gives you a new path. It tells you make a U-turn. Okay, you don't have to make a right, then come back, and then what happens if you make another wrong turn? What does your GPS do? It recalculates again. It starts thinking and goes boom, and it gives you another path. See, once you put an address, once you give your GPS, I use Google, I don't know if you use Apple, once you give it an address, it will never give up until it gets there. That's the way you need to be. See, on our way to our goals, we're going to get lost sometimes. There's going to be distractions. There's going to be good days and bad days. There's going to be good weeks and bad weeks, good months and bad months. There's going to be times where you hit the promotion, and there's going to be months that you don't make it. There's going to be good times and bad times. But no matter how distracted you get from your goal, you got to be like a human GPS. Keep recalculating and get back on track. These are the keys for you to have an incredible 2025. Number 9, stop allowing your current circumstances to dictate your future life. Instead, allow your current actions to determine your future life. Stop allowing your current circumstances to dictate your future. It's not about your circumstances. It's about the actions you take right now. So if right now your business isn't moving, you don't have momentum, you're not getting promoted, don't let that circumstance dictate your future. Change your actions so you can change your life. And finally, remember the 5 most important abilities you need to have as an entrepreneur. For you to have a 2025 like never before, I'm telling you, man, if you do what I'm telling you to do, you're going to have an incredible 2025. And it starts right now. It's already the 7th of the month. 2025 is 7 days old. Before you know it, it's going to be 30 days, 90 days. Before you know it, it's December 2025, and we're going to be back here. So remember the 5 abilities that you need to have as an entrepreneur. Number 1, rebound ability. Your ability to rebound when something bad happens to you. Your ability to, you're in a positive state of mind, something happens to you, you go to negative. How long do you stay in negative before you get back to positive? That is an ability. I call it, and I came up with it, rebound ability. Control your rebound ability time. Don't think you're always going to be positive. Don't be delusional. But when you're positive and you get hit with something that gets you to negative, be aware of it and say, I got to get back to positive as fast as possible. Accountability. Be accountable to someone. Be accountable. What does that mean? Who keeps you accountable? Who do you report to? Who do you tell, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Keep me accountable. That's what uplines are for. Number 3, dependability. You got to be dependable. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When you say you're going to be somewhere, you got to be there. Coachability. Be coachable. If you want to be a great coach to your team, you got to be coachable to your upline. And number 5, the ability to recognize ability. I believe that greater than having ability is the ability to recognize ability in your people. So when you recognize that maybe you recruited someone that recruited someone that recruited someone, they're not your direct, but this guy is shaky, that girl is, she's all over the place, but down there, if you recognize that someone downline from you has ability, they want it, they've got talent, they're willing to do the work, they're hungry, they're hardworking, they're coachable, they're dependable. Recognize ability and work with anyone on the team that is willing to work with you. So guys, those are my 10 tips for the day. I want to recognize you for being here. Congratulations. 2025 is going to be awesome. I shared the company numbers. The company is on fire. It's time for you to get on fire. We've got an event coming up in Miami. If you can be in Miami or if you've got people in Miami, get them to that event. And let's make 2025 the greatest year ever. I love you guys, and we'll see each other next week.